It's been over 2 months since this.
The start of a brand new sailing adventure, SailGP.
Lessons of the past have already been learned.
Not on day one, boys.
Neither past failure nor triumph mean a thing.
The colours of this inaugural SailGP in Sydney are green and gold.
Pretty cool, eh? Never seen this in Sydney before.
The next race is all that matters.
Here we go, boys.
A different kind of test.
We're good, we're good.
This isn't the harbor. This is the bay. Bigger winds,
Gonna be ugly.
bigger swell, bigger rocks.
Still plenty to play for here, boys.
Hell, we've even got bigger fish. These are all waters. Welcome to San Francisco.
Let's just go win a race.
Welcome to SailGP.
Hello and welcome to the San Francisco SailGP. It's the second event of the 2019 championship season, and the city by the bay is playing host to the F-50 fleet as it continues its mission to redefine the sport of sailing. 6 wing-sailed catamarans crewed by a mixture of superstars and rising stars who are competing in this iconic location, all going for a share of that $1 million prize purse. Tom Slingsby's Australian SailGP team won 5 of the 6 races in the opening Grand Prix in Sydney, with Japan just 3 points behind them. Only 5 points separate the other nations, and this time it's Rome Kirby's team hoping to make the most of the home advantage. The excitement was palpable in the race village on the San Francisco waterfront as the teams prepared for the opening day's racing. The notoriously tricky sailing conditions were very much in evidence here in San Francisco for the first race of the Grand Prix. And as the boats approached the start line as the clock counted down, they jostled for position on the line. It's time to hand you over to your commentators, Shirley Robertson and Jodie Shields.
We've got Tom Slingsby in the Australian boat just holding everyone up. Nathan Outridge and Team Japan might get a hole shot here. He's the lowest boat, and it looks like we're going to have an all-clear start, and they are smoking 31 knots just off the start, and Team Japan gets it straight off the bat.
Beautiful start by the Japanese, absolutely at top speed by the time they hit that line, and the inside track as well for that all-important Mark 1.
Yeah, and then you've got Australia there. They've had a few issues with their foil setups and whatnot. We've got Team Japan now trying to push everybody up. Team Australia's getting very close to Great Britain here. This is 33 knots, and these boats are about 2 metres apart, screaming into the first mark. This is game on. I haven't seen it this close in practice, that's for sure. Have a go at 41 knots of boat speed coming in to mark number 1, and it's all about Team Japan. Great Britain right in behind them, Australia in behind Great Britain. So, what a start, Shirley. Bring it on. And as you can see now, Team Japan already with a 120-odd metre lead. There's a bit of yelling and screaming going off on the boats, which you can probably hear on the onboard comms. And Team Australia have gone into second. This is what all the yelling's about. Team China and Team France coming in nice and tight. Team France just got inside mark there. Phil Robertson had to bail out. He had nowhere to go.
It's tight in the middle of the pack, isn't it? You know, one mistake, you lose so much speed. Look at the British down to 20 knots, the Chinese 16. That's tough.
It is very tough. Team USA definitely copped a bit of a hide, jiving early and getting out into the middle of the bay. They're coming into that bottom mark last. And Team Japan just going in right onto the shore, into the boundary there and tacking. A very close cross here between Australia and Great Britain, but Australia have just snuck over the front. We've seen one of those crosses yesterday in the practice race, which could have ended up very bad, but it didn't in this stage. Japan didn't come off that shore real well, and look at the cross here with Team Australia, just taking his stern. So Tommy's made some big gains from that right-hand side, and Nathan's lost a little bit coming in off that left.
Well,
Great.
Definitely the prize, Jodie, for the most improved since the first event in Sydney goes to the British. There's been loads of technical modifications, which has meant the whole system of flying the boat has been improved and upgraded. And these guys, they worked on the simulator before they even came here. They look a lot more comfortable than they did in Sydney, a lot more confident as well.
I think that's the key. Confidence is the key, and they're that confident. I think they're leading this race now. Team Great Britain have just gone in front of Team Japan. We've got the issue with Australia over on the city side. I'm not sure whether, no, they haven't got themselves back going against it. Well, they're up and going now. So whatever their little technical issue was, they've got it sorted out. So this will be the cross between Team Great Britain and Team Australia to see who could possibly be leading this race. And it might be Australia. They've got looks like they've got an absolutely glamour of a left-hand ship coming off San Francisco.
I mean, you can see it coming down off the St. Francis Yacht Club. They have more pressure, darker spot on the water, and, you know, less current inshore. The Aussies have done well to get back into this.
They have, and Dylan's just had to put the bow down there just to take a little bit of an evasive action. I don't think I've seen a flag go up. Yes, there is a flag onto Team Australia, so they've got a penalty. Dylan Fletcher and co on Team Great Britain. Done a nice job there in avoiding. Here we go on the onboard, on the replay. You see Team Great Britain just have to come around the back of Australia, and that's why Australia have copped their penalty. So they've got to take their medicine, and that's going to be quite costly.
The British Jody right of way boat. They had all the rights. The wind was coming from the right-hand side, which means that the Aussies had to give way.
But Team Great Britain at this stage, 250 odd metres ahead of Australia, who are coming downhill very, very fast, with Team Japan chasing them as well. Looks like Australia are going to go through a jibe here, sitting it down a little bit. They just need to make sure this is a good jibe because it's going to be a cross here with Team Japan. And we're going to go, they're going to keep holding off. They're happy to go right across Team Japan and going over towards the city side. Looks like Nathan's going to, Team Japan are going to come into a nice bit of pressure there. Great shot there of Team France. Billy Besson, he's going to have his bit between his teeth as well because they haven't done too well in practice. But knowing what he likes to do, he loves to win, and he'll be wanting to get in. Team Great Britain sat it down at the bottom mark. Will that be costly, Shirley?
Look slow. I mean, they pulled out a massive, impressive.
Here's what happened to Team Great Britain. They went up, and you watch it. They overreact. So the boat goes up. They're flying way too high. The rudders ventilate. Leeward rudder goes down. Bang! The nose goes in the water. Everyone gets a drink. That's not fast.
And that water is cold, but you know they just need to get going. They've completely
completely stopped, which has opened the door right up for that man and that boat. Team Japan, who won the 3 practice races yesterday. Great Britain had the biggest lead possible. All they had to do was not make a mistake, and the pressure has obviously got to him. Dylan Fletcher would be fuming inside that helmet. He had a great lead and just had to get it down. So anyway, they'll wash it off and they'll keep going. The race is still on. Team Japan now setting up for their tack for the top part of the mark. Current boat speed, 27 knots. Team Australia setting up for theirs as well, getting towards their boundary. Team USA are in 3rd. France are in 5th place on the graphic, so we must have a boat over to our left-hand side. It's still all very, very close. Team Japan setting up now in for their last tack to the mark, and then to scream on into the finish right in front of the Golden Gate Yacht Club, where the crowd are, and they will have an absolutely unbelievable view of this finish line.
I mean, Nathan's been saying that they've really felt at home here in this. They've bedded in their boat. They're ready to go.
Have a look at this, how tight it is still for the miners. Japan now, without some sort of failure, they've got this one in the bag, but that could be the commentator's curse. They're smoking in towards the finish. Got about another 150 metres to go, and Japan are going to take race number 1 here in San Francisco to form. There it is, Team Japan. Well done to them. Nice job after having a few issues and getting back in the track. We know that thing's got some speed, and we know they've got a pretty cool crew on board. Here's the race for the miners. Team Australia looks like they've got into 2nd spot. Nice and tight here for Great Britain, who were leading into the first mark the first time. Into 3rd, USA, and Rome Kirby on the helm into 4th.
So Team Japan showed the fleet a clean set of heels in the first race and claimed 10 points in the process. But things weren't quite so simple on the start line of event race 2.
The wind has increased from race number 1, and the action will surely do the same. Let's see what these things can do.
you know they have to get a good start. You have to cross that line at maximum speed, and the boat that has been doing it so far is the Japanese. Let's see if he can do it once more.
It's interesting that that team you are talking about is way at the very top end of the course. They did this in practice yesterday, and it benefited from him. He has pulled the trigger already with 5 seconds to go. Nathan Outridge and Team Japan coming in from the very, very top. Dylan Fletcher in Great Britain on the very bottom end, and we are off and racing. Clear start, clear start. Great Britain had a great start there with Team USA all the way on the top of them as well. It'll be interesting to see whether Japan can roll over the top of this fleet. Looks like on that shot that he might just be struggling to get down over the front of France there. Great Britain with 40 knots of boat speed. Here we go, he's wound it up. Nathan Outridge on Team Japan, just as we spoke. The final part of this reach has come into play for him, and he is fighting it out with Dylan Fletcher, who's just going to get into the zone first. What a start.
You look at the Japanese, they fly higher than anyone else. They get the best top speeds, and he just seems to be able to deliver when he has to.
Great one, where he was in first place in the first race, and he's in first place in the second. So great job there by Team Great Britain.
Nice ley line, nice execution, going the right way.
And we've got Team Japan into second, Team China into third, and a great race here between the old crewmates in Tom Slingsby and Rome Kirby. Australia and USA coming into that bottom mark. Rome give him a nice little bit of space to get in around, because at 40-odd knots you don't want to be bumping boats, that's for sure. Things will not end well.
We saw Dylan Fletcher having a little look over his shoulder. They're coming to get me.
So what's happening here, Dylan's just going to have to go to the boundary. Nathan's sort of trying to trap him off there, but Dylan can get to the boundary and basically call an obstruction area. Nathan will have to tack off first, and Dylan will have clean air to tack right on the boundary. He's just got to get in there. I think you'll see Team Japan tack off very, very soon, and there they go, which has allowed Team Great Britain to go all the way in and take the heat off him a little bit. It is status quo, game on between Great Britain and Japan. Japan's going to come over, Team Australia tacking off the right-hand boundary. Interesting, most of the boats used the left-hand boundary in the first race. Now they're all coming over to the right.
I think that's current, Jody. The current has changed on the right-hand side of the course, so they're happier to go out there.
Yeah, they're not going to get as effective. The nice shot here of Team Great Britain throwing it around the tack. And I'm going to call that a foiling tack. That looked pretty cool to me.
I could see air under there.
I could see a lot of air under there. So here we have the onboard of Team Japan, and they are on the chase for those very fast blokes on the Team Great Britain side. And that is a great shot there.
The American team are doing well. They've had more time training here than anyone else. They were so motivated to raise their game after the 6th position in Sydney. And it's great to see Rome Kirby. He is actually flying his own boat. They chose not to use the new flight controller system, and he's flying it himself.
You can see him there, what Shirley's talking about. He's just twisting that little twist grip on that red steering wheel, and that adjusts the foils going backwards and forwards, and that helps with the flight of the boat. Tacking right on the boundary there with Team USA. That could be interesting. And Team Japan and Team Great Britain still fighting it out to the top of the course. They're setting themselves up now for the ley line. Japan done a beautiful foiling tack there. Lowest they got in the boat speed's about 21 knots through a tack. Some boats don't go 21 knots. These things are unbelievable. And that tack has set himself up to possibly roll straight over the top of Team Great Britain here. Team Great Britain first into the top mark. Done a nice job themselves to get in and around that tack. And off they go on the downhill. Great Britain first, Japan second, USA in third. So they're all going back over to the left-hand side of the course. They're still about halfway up this work. There's still a little bit of work to go. Team Great Britain at this stage are happy to get out in the middle. Maybe they're going to set themselves for what they call one and in, so go over. One tack up to the top mark. Will that be the big game changer? We'll soon see. Setting up here is Team Great Britain. In through the tack. A little bit of bow down. And when they look upwind, you can see that flying machine of Team Japan and also Team Australia. Absolutely smoking in towards the crowd in front of the great yacht clubs. Australia turning now into their tack. Watch Tommy Slingsby run across, he's gained control back of his boat. Boyle comes up, and off they go, back on the hunt to try and get into the lead of this race.
They found a bit of speed from somewhere. In Sydney, remember, he had a terrible first race, got angry, won the event. I think that may well have happened here.
And his off-water mate and his on-water rival is right in front of him, and they are about to come into the final mark. It's all about this tack. They need to get the tack right. And both boats have gone through the tack, look pretty fast. No real issues. Australia a little bit down on their boat speed, which might have opened the door for Team Japan, who are 30 knots, just to put a bit of distance in them. And they are flying now in towards the finish of race number 2 for yet another win to Team Japan. This team is absolutely on fire. There it is, Team Japan, race 2 winner. Unbelievable.
Jodie, they seem to have all the answers. They have the confidence to push their boat all the way around that course. They could speed to burn.
And we've got Australia coming into second. Tommy would be happy that he got speed to get back into the race, but he'd be filthy that Nathan beat him. Nice little finish here between USA and Great Britain. USA into third, just going over the line now. And Team Great Britain, who led for a fair bit of that race, back to fourth.
2 races, 2 wins for Team Japan. A solid performance in the 3rd race, and they will take a step closer to claiming their spot in the climax of the San Francisco SailGP, the match race. But remember, every single point is taking them a step closer to that $1 million prize purse for this season's SailGP.
Let's talk about points. 6 countries, 5 events, $1 million up for grabs. At each SailGP, the 6 teams all race for points in an event race. The winner gets 10 points, 9 for second. Finish last, you get 5 points. Then repeat. 4 more event races, up to 50 points up for grabs. The 2 teams with the most points go head-to-head for the final match race. The winner gets glory, fame, and more points. The match race winner always finishes with at least 1 more point than the next best team. These points all add up to the final in Marseille. After taking the inaugural win in their home event, Australia hit San Francisco in pole position. 4 events remain. The chase is on. Winner takes all for $1 million. And the first champions of SailGP.
So it's time to head back out onto the water for the final race of the day. And the question on everyone's lips is, can anyone catch Team Japan?
Team Japan well back on the box to the rest of the fleet. The rest of the fleet are very extended. 13 seconds to go. These guys need to wind these things up. That's exactly what Team Japan are doing. Team France this time at the top of the course. Team Australia, Tommy Slingsby, nailed every start in Sydney. He hasn't had his own way.
One man that has had their own ways. Nathan Outridge on Team Japan started in the right spot with the maximum speed.
And off they go again for the 3rd and final race here today in beautiful San Francisco. And have a look at that shot. San Francisco, Golden Gate Bridge in the background. 6 F-50s pumping over to this first mark at over 35 knots. This is insane.
But Jodie's not having it all his own way.
Oh,
At the British team
China
just edging ahead.
Just had a big moment there. China just windward hull went in the water. That's pretty scary at 40 knots with all these boats around you. But he got the whole shot again. Team Japan, then it's Great Britain, Team China, Team Australia, USA, and the French are probably coming in last position at this stage.
Yeah, got it.
All 6 boats flying across towards the shore here in San Francisco. Team USA first to bail out and jibe. Team China's following them. Who will blink first? Looks like Australia is going to jibe. This start-finish mark has got in front of Team France. So that, you don't want to hit that at 45 knots, I tell you. That would not be fun at all. But here we are, Team Japan, 28 knots uphill. Nice and comfortable, just balancing. You see the nose of the front of the boat, just twitching up and down. They're just keeping that control of the boat right where they want it.
Of course, Dylan Fletcher, sitting beside him adjusting the wing is Chris Draper. You know, he's wing trimmer for SoftBank Team Japan in the last cup. He knows what he's doing. He's the CEO of the team and a real sort of calming influence, driving it all forward in a real professional manner, and you know, really teaching these guys how to sail these incredibly fast boats.
The old man of the of the team, that's for sure. They've tacked, so has Japan, and Australia have found themselves in the second position now. Still fighting in towards trying to get that Team Japan and Nathan Outridge back from leading this race. It's interesting that Tom Slingsby, and Team Australia attacked early there. They just want to keep following Nathan Outridge, which means that maybe there's a right-hand shift and they're making this lay line very, very easy. And that's being confirmed by that onboard. They're going straight into the middle of the gate. So a big shift like that doesn't really help them being able to come back and catch it, that's for sure.
You can see, when we get the shot from the boat here, you can see how choppy it is. And imagine you're trying to keep as minimum amount of rudder in the water.
They don't want that rudder to come out, because that's when all the downforce disappears and the boats go tripping over the top of themselves. Team Japan with a very loose bottom mark rounding there. You can see the wash of his arc is very, very low. Some boats are coming in a lot tighter, but when you've got a lead like that, I guess it doesn't really matter how low you are, as long as you're fast.
Kept his pace though, Jody, kept his pace all the way around there.
Great Britain have now taken probably about a 3-4 boat length lead into the second position. But it is still Team Japan on their way uphill with a 198-metre lead to Great Britain. And we are coming towards the mid part of the course. A couple more tacks in and they're going to get up that top mark and maybe have a perfect day.
You know, the British now just defending. Now they're looking behind the Aussies. They've stopped looking at the Japanese and they're confident on their upwind speed. And, you know, straightforward, covering your opposition. He's doing a great job of that, Dylan Fletcher and his British team. And
there's a great shot there of how fast the guys are going there on a lower mode. But they're just trying to get over the top of Team Australia. So Team Australia don't have any tactically gains by being in front of them. They can just put the boat in front, then control that position. We've got a bit of an issue here with Team China. We've got a grinder that's fallen off, the bow's gone down, skip up out of the water, bow down in the water again. That gets very, very dangerous and very, very ugly. That is out of control. That is for sure. This Team Japan boat coming upwind. Nearly close to that top mark. Dylan Fletcher's just checking out what he can do, but he can do nothing because it's all about Team Japan once again in and around the final mark for the final time with a 130-metre lead. And off they go, 45, 46 knots, something out of control to most people, but these guys are doing it like they are walking in the park. What an absolutely amazing performance by Team Japan. That is just 3 wins from 3 races. Great Britain into second, but that is an amazing effort by Team Japan.
Straight line speed is going to win you these races. That first reach, you've just got to push the boat to its absolute limit. And I think you saw us do that 3 times today. And you can't push the boat unless you have confidence in how it's set up, and that's what we've been working on this last week to get ready for the racing.
So Team Japan were unstoppable on day one, taking 3 wins and the top spot on the overall leaderboard, with Australia second and Great Britain third. Billy Besson's French team bringing up the rear in 6th. Day 2 of the San Francisco SailGP promised to be another spectacular day of racing. There were 2 more fleet races with all of the teams racing together before the top 2 teams went toe-to-toe in the final match race for the right to be crowned San Francisco SailGP champion. Conditions on day 2 were cool and overcast as the teams readied themselves for the first fleet race of the day. We're taking back to your commentators Shirley Robertson and Jodie Shields.
We have got 17 seconds to go before the start of race number 4, and you'll see Team China is trying to get the leeward end. Team Australia is coming in very hot. Has he nailed his time on distance here, Shirley?
Well, he's going fast, Jodie, and we saw that yesterday. It was all about hitting that line at maximum speed, and he won that battle.
And Tom Slingsby certainly was quite cranky that Nathan Outridge and the Japan team won all 3 races yesterday, and he's came out today and showed him he is in here for business. So Team Australia on their way towards the first mark. Just trying to hold up Team France there a bit. Team USA's also had a fairly good start. Team France, not so good yesterday, but they're back in the mix today.
Aussies much happier today. They have a new rudder. They've been complaining about that all day, and yesterday had a broken wing. But all good to challenge for that top spot today in San Francisco.
And it's going to be the local boat, Team USA, leading into the first mark. And this is where the high speeds start coming in. The boats go screaming down in front of the crowds. 40-odd knots of boat speed, and they are just on their way now towards the boundary line where they're going to do the first jibe. This is where it gets critical. They have to nail this first jibe. They also have to watch out for the start-finish line there, like Team France had to go over the top of.
The British have done well here. You say that they've got lower, which means they have more options. They can jibe when they want to. They've sailed well from that top mark.
Very close cross there. Team France and Team America. Team France did not get their jibe done too good, and that could cost them a little bit in this setup towards the bottom end of the mark. But it looks like now everybody is on the port jibe on their way down. And we're just on the replay for the start. You see Team China here holding up France. Very, very close. Team Australia going up underneath Team China as well. So all boats within a metre or so of each other, doing around about 30-odd knots. So that is pretty amazing. And Team Japan copped the penalty out of that. Team GBR's done a nice little tack here over on the right-hand side. If they can come out of that pretty good, that's going to set them up for this top part of the course quite nicely.
And the British, one of the standout performances yesterday, the most improved from the last event. You know, they are fired up to make that final, and this is what today is all about, is getting into that final race in first or second.
They look quite nice there in the middle of the course with about 250 metres to go. Team Australia and USA are way over off the Yacht Club side of the course. The Great Britain look really good, Shirley. I think, well, I don't think, I know, they are now in the lead.
To me, it looks a risk. At the top of the course there, it's lighter often and puffier, and Great Britain have capitalised on that.
They've got to make sure they nail this tack, because there's a couple of hungry boats in Australia and USA coming over here pretty quick. Team Japan also coming back in from the left-hand side of your screen. So we'll see a split here in the top of the course. Australia happen to duck in behind Japan there, because Japan has all the rights of way, being a starboard boat. Team Australia are going to the left-hand mark at the top as we are looking at it, and Japan are heading into the shore. Great on shot here with Team Japan. You see the skipper Nathan Outridge just looking at his options. He can do that. He's actually flying the boat. You look at his right hand, you see him twist the grip on the wheel. That means he's in control of the boat. And that's probably why, because they had to go up and around the back of Team Australia. and that gets pretty sketchy, that sort of a manoeuvre, so the helmsman needs to make sure that he's in control.
Tom Slingsby and his Australian team, they just look different today, don't they? They can get out of trouble. It looks like they have mode, they have confidence in their machine, and he is fully pumped to challenge to get into that final race today.
But it is the great British team leading into the mark, for the bottom mark for the second time, and a nice shot there of them coming around the right-hand gate. So they're going to go back out to the middle of the course. Team Australia coming into second. Japan are now into third. So USA have lost out a little bit there in distance.
Well, Chris Draper on the lead boat here in GBR, he said, we just have to give Dylan a stable platform and let him make decisions. And that's exactly what it looks like they're doing.
And he's making some pretty good decisions at this stage because he is leading, and it looks like they're setting up for possibly their final tack into the last mark. Awesome shot there of the tack. That is sensational.
You can hear him getting feedback all the time on the other boats. They're like, Nathan's done a good tack.
And the Aussie team, the Australians, are coming back into it. This is getting close. This is getting very, very close. The Australians still have to do another tack, so they're going to lose a bit of distance there. Japan still have to do another tack. They're going to lose a little bit of distance. Has Great Britain got the lay line? And we're just about to see whether they have. It looks like they're on a tight lay to me.
You know, they might be doing 40 knots, but it's still a tactical boat race, and I've been so impressed by that. It's still about making the right decisions at the right time and executing it. And
it is the team from Great Britain leading into the final mark for the first time and on their way into the finish. So unless something really, really bad happens, it is going to be a win, and a very well-deserved win, I must say, to the team from Great Britain. Have a go at the race for second. Great Britain over the line first, but Team Japan is holding up Australia. We need to coming in. Can this be? Oh, Australia just put the bow in massive, and it's Japan in through for second, and Australia just lost out there in for third spot. That was amazing.
Well, what an opening race that was on day two. A great first win for Team Great Britain, but there's no time for them to rest on their laurels as they compete for a place in the match race final. Let's head back to our commentators for the final fleet race.
And at this stage, Australia are looking pretty comfortable because they have got a little bit of a lead on Great Britain, so they might have held him out the back of the box there. Remember it, all they've got to do is beat each other. Whoever wins out of them pair, get into the final. It's game on.
Tom Slingsby, massive amount of America's Cup match racing knowledge and practice, and it looks like he's done a bit of a job on the young British team.
But there is still a race in the race here, and it is Team America, the United States of America, leading in to this first mark. They've got the French just above them. Awesome shot there of Australia, USA and France, smoking in to the mark for the first time in this race. Japan in third, China in fourth, Australia in fifth, and Great Britain are currently in a last position. Beautiful drone shot there of the United States and France now going in, trying to set themselves up. This is where they've got to get the first thing we say it every time. Go down along the shore, set yourself up for that first drive, Shirley. Beautiful start by the Americans. Beautiful start. France just at the most unopportune time put the bow in the water, and that sort of thing's been costing them all weekend. They've got themselves in the second position. They just need to be a little bit calmer and sail the boat the way that they know that they can do. The team from Australia, they've come over to this right-hand side, so here is the cross that we're all interested in. Great Britain look fantastic on that left-hand shore. They've come off there looking very, very sharp indeed. It's hard to match race when there's a whole heap of traffic. Not easy. And as you said that, you've picked it in one. They've had to duck under France, and that's cost them the position to Team Australia. So Here we go, Australia back in front of Great Britain.
Close though, isn't it? I mean, less than a boat length between them. It's all going to be about how they line up for that top mark.
So we've got Japan coming in off the left. They're currently leading the race. We've got USA into second, maybe coming into third off that graphic. We're going to stick on board here with Ryan Kirby and his crew on Team USA. Very young crew, but they're getting these boats sorted out pretty quickly, as are all of them.
It's amazing how quickly they're learning how to do this. Nathan was saying that it took him months and months to have confidence to sail boats like this. And Dylan Fletcher's been doing it, you know, for a matter of weeks, and he's taken it on.
It looks like there might be a little left-hand shift coming up here because the boats are going straight up the course from that left-hand stride. Australia is going way over, as they did yesterday. Did something very, very similar. Went right over on the rocks, tacked in, and will they get advantage? Remember, Tom Slingsby has sailed this waters for a long, long time from the previous America's Cup. So, here's a little bit of local knowledge we're about to find out, because the cross between Australia and Great Britain is soon to come up.
It looks close, Jodie.
It looks very close. We are all just waiting. Australia have got a nice little bit of a left-hand breeze, and it looks like, no, they're going to duck him. So, they didn't think they could get through, so it's advantage to Great Britain. The thing we've got to look at now is the whole setup of the course. Australia are going to come over, one more tack. Great Britain possibly might have to do 2 tacks. That could be the Costa. Australia still heading over. Great Britain going all the way over to the left-hand side. So we're hearing Tom Slingsby saying 1 and in. So he's comfortable to go all the way over to the outside of the course to set himself up for the top.
Manoeuvres are costly, Jodie. Manoeuvres are really costly. So if you can work out your strategy on the race course to do less, it's all good.
And you've just seen there, Great Britain had to duck another boat. That's the last thing they'd be wanting to do, is just keep losing time from all the other boats. They just wish that all the other boats would disappear off the course so they could just try and catch Australia. On the replay here of the Great British team, sorry, coming through and up and in the foil, and you see him, a big manoeuvre there to put the bow around to try and get around the back of America. So that there would have been pretty hairy on board, that's for sure. You see Great Britain and Australia coming in towards the top marks. If this is the race, USA need to get out of the road, because these two boys want to have a ding-dong battle, and it's all Tom Slingsby and his crew at the moment are leading the Great British team to the top mark. Rome Kirby and his crew have gone to the left, so have the Japanese. Have a look at the spray coming off the boat there. Those things are motoring, and up they go. This is now when the flight controller has to completely dial in to just keeping that boat level.
Jason Waterhouse, of course, silver medal in Rio and shining here in San Francisco.
And just on board with the Aussies there, going through their jibe, and they've got a little bit on there, coming into this gate nice and hot. Looks like they might set themselves up for that right-hand gate as we are looking at it now, and head back out to shore to, like you said before, Shirley, minimise attacks. Look who's coming back into play. Japanese, United States, Great Britain once again. Can they get in? Oh, I'm not sure. I think USA might have just got in the zone there, but Great Britain were clear, so they were around the outside, so that could have been a moment there for the Great British team.
The rule at that zone is whoever gets in first has the right to go round, whether it's the top mark or the bottom mark.
So it was a very, very touch and go decision. Good decision there by Dylan not to force the issue, because that could have cost him a little bit of time. He's looking at the big picture. He's not worried about winning the little battle. He just wants to beat these guys on the screen in the Australian team. Going through
He's running out of options. What can he do here? I mean, the Australians are sailing really well, really cleanly.
British penalty. Well, that is gonna hurt them massive. They have to lose 1 boat length relative to the boat that they've done the penalty to, and that was USA. So that is going to just crucify Team Great Britain's chances.
And this scenario, Tom Slingsby is a mighty competitor. He's spent 2 America's Cup practicing this kind of sailing day in, day out, and he's hungry to win here in San Francisco. It's a tough call for the British.
The Red Mist is definitely on board with Tommy. He was not happy with getting beaten by his mate, Nathan Outridge, yesterday, and he said he was going to come out and have a go today. So that's exactly what he's doing. And there they are, just about to go around for their final tack and then head in for a place in this final match race with Team Japan. Still haven't seen where the Great British team is, but it's all Australia, just cruising in now. They would be some very happy sailors on that Team Australia right now.
Well, they're pretty happy, Jody. They delivered when they had to under pressure, and that is the sign of a real class act.
Absolutely there, Shirley, and Great Britain are just coming over the line now. Would be hating life right now. That little penalty has just cost them massive.
So it's an Australia-Japan final. Tom Slingsby's team won last time out in Sydney, but getting to the final in San Francisco has been a far tougher battle.
It is the Aussies dominating down under. The colours of this inaugural SailGP in Sydney are green and gold.
Pretty cool, eh? Never seen this in Sydney before. Once we realised that we won 1 race, we won 2 races, we said, look, we don't have to do anything out of the ordinary here, and that's the way the event played out. Sydney was a light wind event, and we were dominant in the light air. Here we're in San Francisco, it's strong winds, big waves, and our light air techniques don't necessarily work. Foiling catamarans are extremely dangerous. San Francisco is a place that really brings it out. What happened was we were setting up for a jibe. I got a little bit too high on my ride height, and what that did was it steered us up into what we call the power zone. That's basically 90 degrees to the wind, and that's where you get the most pressure on the sails. And fortunately, I got steerage again. If that happened half a second later, we would have capsized for sure. I think that is the scariest moment I've ever had in the F50. Almost in all the foiling cats I've done.
And I think we're doing 30 knots and they're all 35 knots, so pretty quick towards each other. Luckily, Tommy stopped the turn and went down, and we missed them by betting a foot.
If I turn there, we're going like bows straight through the middle of them. That split-second moment, having to bear away and missing them by, must have been millimetres. That was really, really scary.
This one is going to be epic. All the talk, all the chatter, and we are about to go.
Well, this is exciting.
Training has been pretty exciting. Let's hope the racing can do the same.
Beautiful start by the Japanese.
Team Japan weren't getting away from us ever. Felt like we could actually catch them up if we sailed well, but they're getting ahead of us on the start.
Australia a little bit down on their boat speed, which might have opened the door for Team Japan.
If they're behind us, I think they'll struggle to beat us.
They could have a technical problem here, Australia.
Unfortunately, we broke our wing in race 1, so we were unable to control twists. It didn't slow us down too much, it just meant we couldn't mode the boat.
3 wins from 3 races. That is an amazing effort by Team Japan.
At the end of the day, Team Japan beat us because they're getting better starts on us. Sorry, boys. That's all right.
It's all still to play for in San Francisco. 27 seconds to go. This is getting pretty close. Team Japan are losing a little bit of stability there on the boat. They're just trying to wash off some speed because they don't know how far they are away from that start line.
Yeah, but the Aussies know. They have all the tools.
You would think that maybe they got their eyes on the Aussies if they pull the trigger. Japan will pull the trigger too. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. And we are racing for the final race here in San Francisco. I'd call it an even start.
That is an even start. Extraordinary sailing from the Japanese team.
We are a bit slower.
Nice little bit of breeze about to come in. The Australians look like they're going to roll over the top of the Japanese. Can they keep that boat stable? This is where it's all on. 40 knots, probably 5-10 metres apart. Now, Japanese can control a little bit here. They can take the Australians all the way to the boundary. Australians cannot do anything until Japan want them to.
Yeah, remember, this is match racing. It's not about doing the course in the fastest time. It's just about doing it faster than the other guy.
And what they've got to try and do is get a penalty on the other guy. If they get a penalty, then the other boat has to go in behind and watch their penalty off. Advantage to Japan. Looks like Japan are going to go into the attack. Into their jibe, sorry, because they're coming towards the boundary. Holding him in. Oh, Team Australia, they're just throwing it at Team Japan. Have to react. That could be interesting. Will they press the button there? Slingsby definitely threw a little bit of a fake jibe, I guess, into Japan. And now they're smoking on down along the riverfront or the shorefront there towards this bottom mark. Looks like no penalties have been occurred by other boats. You can see Japan just rolling over the top of Australia, but Australia now starting to pick up speed. Australia has got the advantage.
Tom Slingsby worried about his speed all week in training and yesterday. No worries when it counts in this final race, this one-on-one battle to be the king of the bay.
And here's the race into the boundary, and the zone, sorry, and it's Australia in first. Japan nice and tight. Both boats. Oh, it's very close to contact. That had to be so close. Japan nearly put their bow right through the middle of Australia. Oh my God, that would have been a moment, that's for sure. Looks like they've survived. But what they have done is sat down and let Australia just sail off in the distance and put quite a big gap. Have a go at how close this is here. Australia just coming in. Japan trying to come down and soak into the mark. You watch it, both boats will turn up. And Japan lose their flight and literally go underneath Australia. How they didn't take their rudder out, I have no idea. Team Australia are in the zone and they can get up and go around the top gate. Japan now have to do their tack. So Australia off towards the bottom. Japan now, what options have they got, Shirley? What can they do to try and get back to Australia?
Well, exactly the right thing, Jody. They, splitting sides, get a bit of freedom. Hopefully there's more pressure also on the left-hand side of the screen here, so they may well be able to just get a little bit more pace.
160 odd metres, Australia haven't looked comfortable all weekend. They've just done enough, and it looks like at this stage they're going to be 2 wins in 2 events. Amazing.
Tom Slingsby said to me this morning, if we haven't caught him up, if we haven't caught Nathan up by the end of today, he's going to be peed off.
Well,
Let's see.
I don't think he'd be that cranky at the moment because he is leading into the bottom mark for the final time. Half a work to go, 3/4 of the work to go to get up to the last turner mark, into that gate for the finish for the Chockies. He wants the biscuits. And it's 60 odd metres, so they might have made a little bit of a gain there, but that could be just false because of both boats have had attack. Team Australia looks pretty good to me.
60 metres in an F50 is not very long.
About a blink of an eye. Being on it, it's amazing. So what we could see here, Team Japan come right over to the right-hand side and only make one tacking in. Australia recovering. Smart move from the 8-time world champion, Tom Slingsby. Very, very close now, Shirley. It is come back into a race. Ladies and gentlemen, stick where you are. This thing is not over by any stretch. It comes down to this tack. Who can be the best in this tack? Who are you going to back?
Oh, I don't know. It's getting closer and closer all the time. Both teams so good at executing when they have to under pressure.
Here we go, Japan setting up for their attack, throwing the boat around, right on the boundary is Nathan Outridge. Tom Slingsby responded. Looks like Slingsby done a nice job on his tack. Outridge sat down a little bit, but Slingsby's up and foiling pretty quick. Has that been enough for Tom Slingsby to take this into the top mark and in towards the finish for a well-deserved win here in San Francisco?
We can see the gap growing here. I think there's a little bit of wing wash. Bad air coming off the Aussies onto the Japanese.
And here they go, around the final mark, in towards the massive crowd here in San Francisco for the full glory for round 2 of SailGP. Tom Slingsby, Kyle Langford, Jason Waterhouse, Sam Newton, Kai Hurst, take a bow. You've just won here in San Francisco.
Yes! Yes! Yes, boys!
A brilliant conclusion to a fantastic day's racing, and this is what the standings look like after the San Francisco Grand Prix. Australia lead on 95 points, 4 points ahead of Japan. Disappointment for Nathan Outridge, but plenty of positives to take for Team Great Britain and Dylan Fletcher in 3rd, and Rome Kirby, who takes the United States team off the bottom of the table up into 4th.
I think I was saying we're going to come good all week. A week ago we weren't doing well in practice. Yesterday we didn't do great. And I've been saying the whole time, oh, we're going to come good, we're going to come good. And we left it a bit late, but we came good.
The legendary conditions here in San Francisco have delivered, and consequently so did the action. An incredible level of progression on the F50s here in San Francisco. If we see the same rate of progression into New York in June, it's going to be a breathtaking 3rd Grand Prix on the SailGP Championship.